All right, let's go ahead and dive into some more free lines and personal leans right here on YouTube. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got the Pacers taking on the Knicks, 7:30, Madison Square Garden. The Pacers are laying 6 points on the road, total at 211.5. We saw a half a point fade of the Pacers and movement upward on the total. Indiana opened 6.5 down to -6. Total opened 211 up to 211.5. 64% are leaning Pacers, 65% on the over. Right now, the Knicks are plus $2 on the money line. Now, if you like New York in this matchup here, you're pretty crazy. But they have won 4 out of their last 6 games. And believe it or not, the Knicks are 14-13 against the spread at MSG. They rank in the top 10 in offensive rebounding, top 10 in defensive rebounding on their home court. Now, Ellington and Payton, they are listed as questionable for tonight's action. But Julius Randle, he's averaging 19 points a game, double-digit rebounds, and 3 assists. R.J. Barrett, 14 points a game, 5 rebounds for him. And Reggie Bullock, 10 points a game, 3 rebounds for this Knicks squad. New York, they've successfully covered the point spread in 5 out of their last 6 games. And they're 70% against the spread in their last 10. Now, Indiana on the other side, a little bit different story. Kind of limped into the All-Star break. Losers of 6 out of their last 7. They rank in the bottom 10 in scoring on average per game, bottom 5 in offensive rebounding. They suffered losses to the likes of Brooklyn, Portland, and this very Knicks team within their last 10 contests. They rank in the bottom 3 in defending the 3 ball on the road, bottom 3 in offensive rebounding on the road, and they failed to cover the point spread in 7 out of their last 10 head-to-head matchups with the Knicks if you're into historical trends. Now, 5 out of the Pacers' last 6 games did get over the number. They're also 80% to the over in their last 10. I'm going to lean toward the home dog in this one. Give me the Knicks plus 6 and the over 211.5 in that contest. Next game, Celtics. Timberwolves, 8 o'clock, Minnesota. Boston's minus 6.5 on the road, total 227 and a hook. We saw a 1 point move toward Boston and movement upward on the total. The Celtics open 5.5 up to minus 6.5. Total open 227 up to 227 and a hook. 68% are leaning Boston, 51% on the over. Right now, Minnesota's plus 250 on the money line. Now, if you like Minnesota in this game here, just keep in mind they've dropped 9 out of their last 10 contests. They also went just 1-9 against the spread in those 10. Towns and Layman are out. They're in the bottom 5 in offensive field goal percentage, bottom 3 in shooting the 3 ball. This Minnesota squad is second to last place in the Western Conference, and just four and a half games ahead of Golden State, who is the worst team in the NBA. So Minnesota certainly heading in a wrong direction. There are 11 games back in Memphis for the 8th seed, so you can pretty much, the way they've been playing, just cut them out of the playoff scenario. But anyway, Minnesota, bottom 5 in points allowed, bottom 3 in defensive rebounding. They're allowing 115 points per contest on their home court, and they're just 7-20 straight up at home this year. Now, Boston on the other side, winners of 8 out of their last 9, currently third place in the Eastern Conference at 38-16 on the season. They're 1.5 games back of Toronto for the 2nd seed, so they're right in striking distance. They're also in the top 10 in scoring, top 3 in points allowed. Now, Kemba Walker, not going to see him tonight. He's out with a knee, so just keep that in the back of your mind. But Jaylen Brown, he's been upgraded to probable, so we're going to see Jaylen tonight. Jason Tatum, 22 points a game, 7 rebounds. Jaylen Brown, 20 points a game, 6 boards for him. And Gordon Hayward, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists for the Celtics. Boston ranks at the top 10 in defensive rebounding, top 5 in defensive field goal percentage. They're 16-10 against the number when traveling, and they're giving up just 105 points per contest on the road. Now, Boston's 16-10 to the under when they travel, 60% to the under in their last 10. I'm going to lean Boston minus 6.5 and the under 227 and a hook in that game. Next matchup, Nuggets, Thunder, 8 o'clock, OKC. Thunder's minus 1.5 at home, total 215. We did see a half a point fade of OKC and movement downward on the total. They open as the 2-point favorite down to minus 1.5. Total open 216 down to 215. 61% are leaning Denver, 78% on the over. Right now the Nuggets are plus 105 on the money line. Now Plumlee and Porter are listed as questionable for the Nuggets. Barton has been downgraded to doubtful. Having said that, though, I know that that could seem potentially problematic, but Denver is 6-2 straight up in their last 8, 6-2 against the spread in those 8 games. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but quietly, Denver is in second place in the Eastern Conference. And they're just 4 games back of the Lakers for the conference lead. They're at 38-17 overall for the year. They rank in the top 5 in points allowed, top 10 in defensive rebounding. Nikola Jokic, 21 points a game, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Jamal Murray, 19 points a game, 4 boards, 5 assists for him. And Paul Millsap, 12 points a game, 6 rebounds for this Denver squad. Denver ranks at the top 3 in defending the 3-ball, top 5 in defensive rebounding on the road. They're giving up just 106 points per contest. Now OKC on the other side, losers of 2 out of their last 3. They've also failed to cover the point spread in 3 out of their last 5. OKC bottom 10 in offensive rebounding, dead last in offensive rebounding at home. They're just 1-9 straight up in their last 10 head-to-head matchups with Denver, if you're into historical trends. And they failed to cover the point spread in their last 10 straight against the Nuggets. Now, total-wise, OKC 5-4 to the under in their last 9. I like the road dog in this one. Give me Denver plus 1.5 and the under 215 in that contest. Next matchup, Spurs versus the Jazz, 9 o'clock Utah. The Jazz are -7, total 221.5. Half a point let's try that again. Half a point fade of Utah, moving upward on the total. The Jazz open 7.5, down to -7. Total open 221, up to 221 and a hook. 66% are leaning Utah, 51% on the under. Right now the Spurs are plus 255 to win it outright. And speaking of winning it outright, the Spurs have not been doing that as of late. Losers of 5 out of their last 6. They've also won just 9 out of 28 road games this year. 9-19 straight up when they travel. DeMar DeRozan, he's been downgraded to questionable for today's action. They rank the bottom 10 in points allowed, bottom 5 in defending the 3-ball. Now, San Antonio, they are currently in 4th place in the Southwest Division. They're just 23-31 on the year, 8 games under 500, and 11.5 games back of Houston for the division lead. They rank the bottom 10 in road points allowed. They're giving up 116 points per contest in that category. Meanwhile, the Jazz on the other side, winners of their last 4 straight. They're also 20-5 straight up at home. They're in second place in the Northwest Division, just 1.5 games back of Denver in the division lead. They're 36-18 overall for the year, top 5 in offensive field goal percentage, and they rank first in the NBA in shooting the 3-ball. Don Mitchell, 24 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Bojan Bogdanovic, 21 points a game, 4 rebounds. And Rudy Gobert, 16 points a game. Gobert's averaging 15 rebounds per contest as well and 2 blocks. But Gobert, he ranks second in the NBA in rebounding on average per game. We're looking at a Jazz squad who ranks in the top 10 in points allowed, top 5 in defensive rebounding. 6 out of their last 9 got over the number. Meanwhile, the Spurs 7-2 to the over in their last 9. Just on a side note, Mike Conley, he's been ruled as out for Utah, and it looks like it's going to be one of those load management nights, but I don't think it'll matter. I like Utah in this spot here. So give me the Jazz -7 at home and the over 221 and a hook in that contest. Next game, Memphis versus the Lakers. 10:30 Eastern tip-off at the Staples Center. The Lakers are laying 11 points at home, total at 232. Half a point fade of the Lakers and movement upward on the total. Los Angeles open 11.5 down to -11. Total open 230 and a hook up to 232. 69% are leaning Lakers, 52% on the over. Right now the Grizzlies are plus $5 on the money line. Now Memphis lost last night to the Kings. 129-125. Gave up 129 points to Sacramento. Memphis, not so hot on the road. I know they've been playing some pretty good basketball down the stretch here. But Memphis, winners of just 12 out of 26 road games. They rank in the bottom 10 in points allowed, bottom 10 in defending the 3-ball. Now the Grizzlies are just 4-6 straight up in their last 10 head-to-head matchups with the Lakers. We're looking at Winslow and Allen, who are both still out indefinitely for the Grizz. Now the Lakers on the other side, winners of their last 3 straight, 7-3 straight up in their last 10, and it doesn't even feel like they played all that great of basketball in that stretch. But once again, 3-0 straight up in their last 3, 7-3 straight up in their last 10. The Lakers are currently first in offensive field goal percentage, top 10 in scoring. They currently have the best record in the Western Conference at 41-12 on the year, 4 games ahead of Denver for the conference lead. They rank in the top 10 in offensive rebounding, top 3 in defensive rebounding. Anthony Davis, 27 points a game, 9 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. LeBron James, 25 points a game, 8 rebounds, 11 assists. And Kyle Kuzma, 13 points a game, 4 rebounds for the Lakers. LA ranks at the top 5 in points allowed at home, top 5 in defensive field goal percentage in that same category. They're allowing just 104 points per contest at the Staples Center. They're also 18-7 straight up as the official home team. Now, 6 out of the Lakers' last 9 did get over the number. Memphis 4-3 to the over in their last 7. I'm going to lean Lakers minus 11 in the over 232 in that game. Next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be Pelicans taking on the Blazers, 10:30 Portland. The Pelicans are laying 4 points on the road, total at 236. We saw a 2-point move toward New Orleans, movement upward on the total. The Pels open as the 2-point favorite, up to -4. Total open 235, up to 236. 68% are leaning New Orleans, 69% on the over. Right now, the Blazers are plus $1.50 on the money line. Now, if you like the Blazers in this matchup here, just keep in mind they have a small army on the injury report. Lillard, Hood, Nurkic, Hazonia, Collins, they are all out indefinitely. Portland, losers of 4 out of their last 6. They rank in the bottom 5 in points allowed, dead last in defensive rebounding. This Portland team has covered just 11 out of 26 home games this year, and they're currently in 4th place in the Northwest Division, 13.5 games back of the division lead. Now they rank in the bottom 5 in points allowed on their home court as well. Bottom 10 in home defensive rebounding. They're allowing 115 points per contest on their home court. Now the Pels on the other side, winners of 6 out of their last 9. They went 6-3 against the spread in those 9 as well. They rank in the top 5 in scoring, top 5 in shooting the 3 ball. They're just 5 games back in Memphis for that 8th seed in the Western Conference, so still very much in the mix. They're 15-12 against the spread when they travel. Brandon Ingram, 25 points a game, 6 boards, 4 assists. Zion Williamson, 22 points a game, 8 rebounds for him. And Drew Holiday, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals. The Pels rank in the top 5 in offensive rebounding, top 10 in road scoring. 6 out of the Pels' last 8 games got over the number. They're also 17-10 to the over when they travel. A lot of overs for this New Orleans team. Meanwhile, Portland on the other side, 70% to the over in their last 10 themselves. 16-10 to the over on their home court. I'm going to lean Pelicans -4 in the over 236 in that game. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on my Patreon website, where once again we do premium daily sports picks on that website, beginning at just $1.99 per month. Guys, we went 3-1 in our premium picks yesterday, and we are currently, 5-0 in our last 5 crowd pleaser teasers. So if you want some more information, link for that site is in the description section below. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Friday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.